This is KATU News at 5 on your side.
It hit everybody pretty hard up here. I know it did for me and the rest of my aviation group.
Sent to Australia from Oregon to help fight wildfires there, an Oregon man shares the heartbreak of an air tanker crash that killed 3 Americans. Good evening. Thanks for staying with us. He also talked about new concerns about those fires.
KATU's Bob High is live at the Federal Building in downtown. And Bob, the fire specialist you talked with, like all of the public employees sent to help those fires, it's a federal worker.
That's right, Lincoln. No state or local firefighters have been sent. Josh Fulton works for the Bureau of Land Management in the Burns District here in Oregon. After a month in Australia, he now is on his way back here to Oregon, days after that deadly firefighting airplane crash. Josh Fulton snapped this photo in front of a helicopter in Australia and flew along on an aircraft recording water drops by airplanes fighting Australia's wildfires. After a month coordinating flights for firefighting aircraft over the wildfires, Josh was on a day off in Sydney when he first heard about the crash of a Canada-based Coulson Aviation C-130 that killed 3 Americans on board that plane.
It's a horrible thing to comprehend and deal with, and it hit everybody pretty hard up here. I know it did for me and the rest of my aviation group.
Just making sure you copy that.
Fulton was sent to Australia from Oregon, where he is a fire operations supervisor in the Bureau of Land Management's Burns District, one of more than 200 federal workers, including a handful from Oregon, sent to Australia under an international agreement. Days after some rain, Josh Fulton says wildfires flared up again.
But the fuels and all the vegetation are so dry, they're so drought stressed that little bit of rain in a matter of a few days is completely dried up, and the fires are back to burning like they have been, all summer long for these guys.
Fulton says Australia faces an uphill wildfire battle not likely to end anytime soon.
There are just so many fires and they're burning so big that it was frustrating at times because we're just working on a little piece of it. We're just trying to get that little piece taken care of and really just work our way around it. They're in it for the long run here, and they're understaffed and overmatched with so much fire on the landscape.
And most of the people fighting the fires in Australia will spend a month there in that country before finally returning to the United States. Live in downtown Portland, Bob High, KATU News.
All right, Bob, thank you. Local businesses are coming together to help fund relief efforts for the Australian bushfires. In fact, nearly 20 businesses, mostly from the Milwaukee and Oregon City area, have committed to donating a portion of proceeds that they make this Sunday. Darcy Hildreth is organizing the effort, and she says the impact of these fires will affect the entire globe.
I'm just heartbroken that there are so many animals that are dying and people have lost their homes, entire towns have been destroyed, and it's basically the entire country of Australia is aflame, and it needs to be the concern of everyone.
The organizations receiving donations are the Koala Hospital in Port Macquarie, the Australia Zoo, and the New South Wales Rural Fire Service. For a list of participating businesses, head to our website, KATU.com.
Westbound lane of West Burnside is back open tonight between Barnes and Skyline, but the eastbound lanes are expected to be closed through Monday. Both directions were shut down about 6:30 this morning after a landslide. The city says it was the largest slide on a Portland street in about 2 years. Crews spent the day removing dirt and debris, and after assessing the area, they determined there was risk of further movement.
Our top priority is to make sure the public is safe and everyone can get home safe. We'll reopen West Burnside as soon as we can, but not until we're confident that it's safe for the public to travel through the area.
PBOT says the eastbound lane will remain closed through Monday morning's commute and possibly longer.
Well, Joe English is in tonight for Dave Zaleski, and more rain on the way. That could mean more landslides too, Joe.
Yeah, we've had another one on SR4 in Wahkiakum County in southwest Washington. Those spots, the Willapa Hills, the Gorge, the West Hills of Portland, that's where we see this kind of activity when we get a lot of rain coming in, and there is some. So anywhere with a steep slope, anywhere where there's not much vegetation, but even where there is, it's a concern. You might have some trees on your property that the root balls could lose their grip and fall over. You want to check that this weekend because we have rain coming in everywhere, but the wettest weather on the Central Coast and the foothills of the Cascades. Not that wet right now. We're seeing some showers, got a little bit of a break late Friday afternoon into the evening. Showers will increase, though, and these are pretty impressive numbers. We don't see any flood watches or warnings or advisories up at this point, but heavy rainfall coming in 2 to 3 inches for the Central Coast and possibly for the west slopes of the Cascades in spots, and more likely an inch plus as we go through Monday afternoon around the metro area. So a soggy weekend, and not just the weekend, but the week ahead, and very warm as well. We've been warm. We're going to stay warm. That means the snow level in the Cascades is pretty high. It's going to melt some of that snow that we've gotten recently. That could saturate the ground as well, something that we got to watch out for all through the weekend and beyond. We'll talk more about what you can expect with your week's weather coming up in your complete forecast.
All right, we will see you soon. Thank you, Joe. Happening right now, police are asking for the public's help finding a man who was convicted of murdering his mother. The state says 36-year-old Thaddeus Zimlak escaped from the supervision of the Psychiatric Security Board. He was last seen on January 5th leaving his residential facility in Pendleton. He killed his mother in 2004 and is considered to be dangerous.
A Happy Valley pastor has been convicted for a second time of sexually assaulting a child. Michael Spiro was the senior pastor at North Clackamas Bible Community. He was accused of abusing a child on 2 separate occasions between 1993 and 1996. He was first convicted in 2015, but the Oregon Supreme Court ordered a new trial. Today, the jury in his second trial convicted him again. He'll be sentenced next week.
Today was the final day of jury selection in the Jeremy Christian trial. Opening statements are now scheduled to begin Tuesday. Prosecutors and defense attorneys spent the last week going through a pool of hundreds of potential jurors, looking for impartial, open-minded people who can comprehend the facts of the case. Christian is accused of stabbing 3 people on a MAX train in 2017. 2 of them died.
8 years after issuing a scathing report against the Portland Police Bureau, the Department of Justice said today the city is in substantial compliance with the terms of its settlement agreement. One of the key criticisms of that report was the Bureau's use of excessive force in encounters with people experiencing mental health crises. Mayor Ted Wheeler said today's announcement represents a major milestone on the path towards increasing accountability.
This accomplishment represents the city taking specific, concrete steps to address community concerns about use of force training, supervision, management, and accountability.
Portland's new police chief Jamie Resch also spoke, saying while this is a significant goal, we are not finished with our reformative work. She said the next phase is to maintain the progress they've made as they continually seek to improve their performance.
Before that press conference, we were on your side getting answers from the chief. I asked her about the Bureau's reputation in Portland. She maintains those that she speaks with are overwhelmingly supportive of officers and the work they do.
What I've asked in return is that they vocally support us. Because when I go out and I meet people, they're like, what do you need? How can I help you? And that's what we need. We need our supporters to step up and to say, I support the Portland Police Bureau. Because from what I hear overwhelmingly is that people do. And the officers need to hear that, you know.
That's encouraging news that you have been able to hear that, but you know that there are some in the community who are skeptical of police officers for whatever reason, whether that reputation is deserved or not.
Yep.
How do you respond to those people?
I think for me it is, I want to interact with those people as much as possible, because I think the more those people get to know the Police Bureau and they get to know the officers and they get to know the caliber of people that work for the Portland Police Bureau, it will be harder for them to be skeptical of us.
And coming up tonight at 6 o'clock, her plea for hiring more officers and how she plans to do it in a tough climate for police. Plus, how Resch plans to address any potential protests this year.
When it comes to owning a dog, there are certain expectations, like when you take your dog for a walk, you're expected to clean up after them.
But did you know it is actually a law? KATU's Kelly Ozer is live in Northwest Portland. You could face a fine for leaving dog waste behind, Kelly?
You absolutely can, and you can face up to a $150 fine for leaving that waste behind. Now, today we started on this story because we were getting a number of complaints from folks all around Portland saying that they're finding more and more dog waste just left on sidewalks as we hit the streets, even though we found bags available for dog owners and even signs reminding you to obey the scoop law. There is still a lot of waste on sidewalks. In Portland, just about everywhere you look, there is someone walking a dog. With walks sometimes come waste left behind by pups. You may expect the owners to pick up that waste, but sometimes, like we saw today, on just about every block of the Pearl District, that's simply not the case. But the problem is not just gross and unsightly, it's unhealthy too. Christina Gray is a dog trainer with Wonder Puppy. She says dog waste can carry dangerous diseases that other dogs can pick up just being around it.
Giardia is very common in the Pacific Northwest. It's everywhere, and it's very common for immune-suppressed dogs as well as young dogs.
While rare, it is something humans can also pick up from their pets. And according to Gray, while you may not realize it, that feces can be tracked into homes and cars, getting on items that we touch daily. Now, if this problem is getting worse, who enforces it and how do they go about stopping you if it does happen? Well, we looked into that and we got the answers for you. We have those coming up tonight at 6 o'clock. We're live in Northwest Portland. Kelly Ozair, K2 News.
All right, Kelly, thank you. More affordable housing will soon be built in Northeast Portland. Today, Oregon Harbor of Hope announced plans for the Harbor Apartments at 148th and Northeast Burnside in the Glenfair neighborhood. It will have 153 apartments listed below market value for people making under the median family income. This is one of several projects Harbor of Hope is looking to sponsor. Construction for the $39 million project is expected to begin in the fall.
Happening tomorrow, Representative Earl Blumenauer will be addressing the erratic mail problems in North Portland. Blumenauer's office says people living in North Portland have been having issues with their mail delivery over the past several months. He'll be hearing from customers and postal workers about the issues. You can attend the town hall from 9:30 to 10:30 tomorrow morning at the Celebration Tabernacle on North Denver.
Well, quite the achievement for Oregon wine drinkers. What people here are doing more than anywhere else in the country.
Plus, a man from Philadelphia fulfills a personal mission in Portland, what he was able to accomplish at last night's Blazers game.
And a not-so-average trip to the grocery store. What we know tonight about the fire that broke out in a Southeast Portland Safeway.
Get out of there. Get out of there. Get out of there. Oh, my God.
Pretty scary scene inside the Safeway on Southeast Hawthorne today. You can see a lot of smoke down one of the aisles. Someone spraying a fire extinguisher. Portland fire crews say a fire broke out at the store about 9 o'clock this morning. The cause is under investigation.
Well, just minutes ago, China reported that the death toll linked to the coronavirus has risen to 41. And today we learned the first cases of the virus are now confirmed in Europe. The French health minister announced that country has 3 confirmed cases. This comes as the second case in the U.S. was confirmed in Chicago. Health officials say the patient is a woman in her 60s who flew from Wuhan to Chicago on January 13th. The woman was not ill while traveling, and health officials don't think she spread the virus during that time.
But I can reassure you that even with this Chicago case, the health risk to the general public from novel coronavirus remains low at this time, both nationally and in Chicago.
The first confirmed case in the U.S. was a man in Everett, Washington. Officials say 63 people from 22 states are being tested for the virus. The CDC says there are likely to be many more cases under investigation in the coming days.
Oregon is joining a lawsuit challenging new rules from the Trump administration that allows to file 3D printed guns to be released online. Oregon Attorney General is teaming up with 21 other attorneys general from around the country. The new rules would effectively allow anyone to access 3D print files online to make unregistered, untraceable firearms. Ellen Rosenblum says the rules would allow people to evade laws designed to help keep guns out of the hands of dangerous people. Federal officials say the rules are designed to reduce the regularity, the burden on American firearm makers, and to promote exports.
The Jordan Cove Energy Project has withdrawn its application for a removal fill permit, temporarily halting progress on a pipeline. The Oregon Department of State Land says the permit would have allowed the project to remove or fill more than 50 cubic yards of material in state waters for the construction of a proposed pipeline. That pipeline would run hundreds of miles from Coos Bay to Southeast Oregon, and it's faced protests from environmental activists. Right now, there is no indication whether or not Jordan Cove will reapply for the permit.
New at 5, scientists are concerned about the future of Dungeness crabs. The Seattle Times reports new research shows ocean acidification is damaging the shells of young crab in the Northwest. Researchers weren't expecting this kind of impact until later this century. The findings add concern about the future of Dungeness crab as the Pacific Ocean continues to absorb carbon dioxide and increase acidification.
All right, attention wine connoisseurs. People in Oregon are buying more wine than the rest of the nation. The Oregon Wine Board says Oregonians are fueling the growth of Oregon wine shipments, both from in-state and out-of-state wineries. Last year, Oregon shipped around 100,000 more cases of wine directly to consumers than Washington State, even though Oregon's wine industry is about 2/3 the size. But not only is Oregon leading the nation in exporting wine, it also received more wine per capita than any other state. We like our wine here.
Yes. Those vineyards are getting pretty soaked this week.
They're going to get a good dose of rain, yeah, and that will continue for a while, and it'll be warm. I don't know if that's good grape. Well, they're not growing grapes right now, right? But maybe they are. I'm not sure. But it's
I don't know how it works.
Anyway, what I'm trying to get to is that it's going to be warm and wet. Your high temperatures today, pretty much what we're going to see through the weekend. It was even in the 50s east of the Cascades, 59 in Pendleton, 51 in Redmond, 50s on the coast, mid-50s in the metro area, well above average overnight lows about where our average daytime highs are. So it's going to be warm overnight as well. Radar picture showing you a few showers along the coast range into southwest Washington. The showers will increase as we go through the evening. Dry right now in the gorge from our visithoodriver.com camera there. 50 degrees, 52 on the coast from the Inn at Spanish Head Resort Hotel. Dry up at A in Clark County, 52 degrees. It says it's rainy out there, so there might be some wet roads around. And in Portland, there's some wet roads as well, but mostly cloudy. If you're not getting rain right now, you will get more rain showers through the evening, turning to rain overnight and into early Saturday as this next weather maker comes on board here. And it's kind of a mix of warm and cold air, and that's going to push the snow levels up in the Cascades overnight. But here we are very early in the morning. So overnight, heavy rain over northwest Oregon, southwest Washington. Overnight, cold enough that you could get some snow showers off to the east side of Oregon and Washington. That won't last long, though. You're going to warm up a little bit again tomorrow. And then more rain coming in late Saturday as that next system comes in. The wind's going to pick up a bit as well. 25, 30, 35 mile an hour gusts from the coast to the valley and the metro area. And then Sunday we're talking about showers, but we could easily see ½ an inch on Saturday, another third on Sunday, maybe another ½ inch plus on Monday. So yeah, we could see in the next 3 days an inch of rain. We only got about an inch of new snow in the last 24 hours in your Northwest Honda dealer ski report, and not a whole lot of snow coming in overnight. And tomorrow is that snow level in the Cascades, 6,000 feet. That's up to Timberline Lodge. And then it does drop down to 4,000 feet on Sunday. So Sunday and Monday, the mountain passes could see some more snow, and we're talking about maybe another ½ foot. But it is until Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday that we see colder air coming in and dropping that snow level again. On the coast tomorrow, high temperatures in the low to mid 50s after overnight lows in the upper 40s. You're going to get more rain, maybe close to an inch for you tomorrow. I'm thinking ½ an inch probably for the valley, southwest Washington. Overnight temperatures, you might not even get below 50 degrees. We could have some record high low temperatures for overnights in the next several nights. In fact, we're warm tomorrow and through Sunday as well. Could be a little bit cooler. We're going to see a little dip in the temperatures as we go through the week ahead, but not for Saturday. Snow level 6,000 feet. That's up Timberline Lodge, 40 degrees of Government Camp. You're planning on going and playing in the snow. It's going to be pretty soft and slushy up there. Snow showers early off to the east side in eastern Oregon and turning to possible rain showers as you go through the day. Not as hot as you were today, but still in the 40s for highs in central and eastern Oregon. And then you see we go from mid 50s to around 50 degrees as we get a little bit colder air coming in. That snow level goes down, but then we're right back in the mid 50s for the end of the week. And you see that rain showers, rain showers, rain showers. That's the pattern. Overnight temperatures not very cold at all, so we're certainly not talking about any snow down at our level or most levels. through the week ahead.
All right. Thanks a lot, Joe.
Okay, now to our chime in. And you know, sometimes after a long day of work, you just need to relax. Maybe we should take a tip from Wilson the cat. That gives Merlin a run for Merlin's money.
Hey, watch it.
This photo was sent to us by Kaylin Sanders in Vancouver, who says Wilson sits in some peculiar, strange ways.
Wilson is pretty cute. I gotta admit
very
that.
sweet. We'd love to see your pictures and videos. To share them, download our KATU News app, tap on the Explore icon, and select Chime In.
Still ahead, a basketball fan travels to all 30 NBA arenas in 30 days. His final one was last night at the Moda Center. What he accomplished at every single one.
K2 Ski Report is brought to you by your Northwest Honda dealers.
Welcome back. Let's go live to Washington, D.C., where it is the third and final day of opening statements from Democrats. This is Representative Adam Schiff, the House manager, discussing the final statements. We have heard word that they are wrapping up. This is, again, the final day for the Democrats. The president's attorneys will begin delivering their opening statements tomorrow. You can watch that at 1 o'clock our time. And, of course, KATU News will bring you live streaming impeachment trial hearings tomorrow on our website, as well as our KATU News app.
This is new at 5 now. Today wasn't about treatment or medicine. It was about smiles. Kids at Randall Children's Hospital got a special visit from a Harlem Globetrotter. They met second-generation Globetrotter, Sweet Lou Dunbar, and even got to try out some basketball tricks of their own. Dunbar says, aside from dunks and three-pointers, this is what Globetrotters do best.
We are ambassadors of goodwill, and we just love giving people lifelong positive memories of the Harlem Globetrotters. You know, sometimes they may not be having the best day, but, you know, we like to go in there, show them a few tricks, and get a smile out of them.
You can see the Globetrotters yourself right here in Portland. They have an exhibition game at the Moda Center on February 8th.
An NBA fan made it his mission to get to all Jumbotrons at 30 NBA arenas in just 30 days, and he finished the mission at the Blazers game last night. Doing a little dance. Philadelphia native David DeLuper says while attending NBA games, he noticed how someone on the Jumbotron could change the atmosphere of the entire game. So he decided he wanted to bring that joy to people all across the country. To help get the cameraman's attention, DeLuper wore costumes that related to each team. In Portland, he chose to pay homage to Ron Sloy, also known as Really Tan Portland Ken, who received attention for his outfit at a game in 2016.
Hey, he knows how to lure the camera guy to focus in on him, right?
And get the joy out of the audience.
Exactly. That will do it for us. We're back with more local news in just a half hour after World News Tonight.